You know what's frustrating? It's not making mistakes. Everyone does that. It's watching yourself repeat the same mistake, even after you swore you wouldn't do it again. You see it coming. You feel the warning signs. You tell yourself, I know better now. And yet somehow you still end up right back there. Same habit, same regret, same conversation with yourself afterward. So let me ask you this, and really think about it. What's one habit you wish you could change, but haven't been able to yet? Because awareness alone isn't stopping you. And that's not an accident. One of the biggest myths in self-improvement is this idea that once you're aware of a problem, you should automatically fix it. We grow up believing that knowledge equals change, that insight equals action, that once you know better, you'll naturally do better. But real life proves otherwise. People know smoking is harmful and still smoke. People know procrastination is damaging and still delay. People know certain habits are ruining their peace and still return to them. So the real question isn't why people make mistakes. The real question is, why do we repeat the same mistakes even when we see them clearly? This question matters because it touches the core of personal growth and well-being. If awareness alone was enough, growth would be simple. But growth isn't simple, it's layered. Most people become aware of their bad habits long before they're ready to let them go. And when change doesn't follow awareness, they start turning inward in the wrong way. They label themselves as weak, undisciplined, or broken. That self-judgment quietly becomes another trap. Because when you believe something is wrong with you, you stop trying to understand what's actually happening inside you. Most bad habits don't survive because you lack motivation. They survive because they serve a purpose, usually an emotional one. Some habits help you avoid discomfort. Some protect you from fear. Some give temporary relief when life feels overwhelming. Even habits you hate often provide something familiar. And familiarity feels safe to the brain. Change, even good change, feels like uncertainty. And uncertainty feels threatening. So when you try to break a habit, your brain isn't asking, is this good for my future? It's asking, does this keep me comfortable right now? That's why you can be fully aware something is harmful and still return to it. Your mind chooses short-term relief over long-term growth. Not because you're broken, but because your brain was built for survival, not transformation. Habits are mental shortcuts. Your brain is constantly trying to save energy. So when it finds a behavior that reduces stress, boredom, fear, or pain, it remembers it. Over time, that behavior becomes automatic. You don't decide to repeat the habit. You slide into it. That's why willpower alone rarely works. Willpower is a limited resource. Habits are automated systems. You can't out-willpower a system you don't redesign. This is where self-awareness becomes powerful. Not as judgment, but as observation. Instead of asking, why am I like this? You ask, what feeling does this habit protect me from? That question changes everything. Because once you identify the emotion behind the habit, stress, loneliness, fear, insecurity, you realize the habit isn't the enemy. It's the coping mechanism. And coping mechanisms don't disappear when you yell at them. They disappear when you replace them with healthier ones. There was a time when I kept repeating a habit I fully understood was holding me back. I knew the pattern. I knew the consequences. I even knew the solution, at least on paper. But nothing changed, until one moment. I stopped asking myself, why can't I stop this? And asked instead, what am I trying to escape when I do this? That was uncomfortable to admit, because the answer wasn't discipline. It wasn't motivation. It was emotion. I was avoiding discomfort, avoiding responsibility, avoiding the pressure of becoming better. The habit wasn't the problem. Avoidance was. Once I addressed what I was avoiding and created a new way to handle it, the habit lost its power. Not instantly, not magically, but steadily. That was the moment awareness finally turned into change. Self-awareness isn't about noticing your flaws. It's about understanding your patterns without shame. Shame keeps habits alive. Understanding weakens them. When you judge yourself, your brain goes into defense mode. When you observe yourself, your brain opens to change. Awareness becomes powerful when it leads to intentional action, not self-criticism. That's when repetition breaks. Here's what I want you to do right after this video. Don't promise yourself anything. Don't set a huge goal. Just write this sentence down. I repeat this habit when I feel dash. Be honest. That blank is the doorway to real change. If this video helped you see yourself more clearly, let me know in the comments. And if you want more content that helps you break patterns, not just feel motivated, subscribe and stay with me. Because awareness is powerful, but applied awareness changes lives.